All right, y'all, this just in. You probably have seen it come across the wire, but I wanted to add a little flavor to the recent news, like within the last hour, that the WNBA plans to shelve expansion to Portland. This just dropped a few hours ago. And Commissioner Cathy Engelbert, as you know, had visited Portland, big on Portland. Everybody knows the drill. You hear rumors about a city being the expansion city. Then we see the commissioner visit that city. There's a lot of press around that. And then there's an announcement. And we thought that was going to be the case for the Portland franchise. But as you can see, Cathy Engelbert has put the kibosh on that. And here is where we are. It says the WNBA shelf plans to expand to Portland, unexpectedly pumping the brakes. Yes, they actually said that in Oregon Live, on OregonLive.com, pumping the brakes on efforts to bring professional women's basketball back to Portland. Now, for those of you who've been around for a while, you know that Portland had a team in the defunct ABL, the American Basketball League, was one of their most successful franchises. I've spoken to the general manager of that team for one of my documentaries, and they loved having a professional women's team there. They did very, very well. And then the WNBA came and did a team as well called the Portland Fire. And let me tell you, I was calling the games for ESPN at that time, and I loved going to Portland in the summertime. And from all indications, they did very well. So Portland looked like a no brainer when it comes to WNBA expansion. They have the fan base, they have the demographic, they have the experience, willing and eager owners and community to bring the W back. And all of a sudden, that's what we thought was going to happen. And now it is not happening. Now it says that WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert confirmed the news first, reported by the Oregonian, is that what it is? Oregon Live, in a letter to Senator Ron Wyden. Now, if you'll remember, when Cathy went to visit Portland, it was at the request of this same senator who says that plans have been deferred. Now, important to read into that, deferred, not denied. It's been deferred, which means that they've got to agree on some stuff. So apparently, the sticking point is facilities. Now, for those of you who have followed expansion for the W, you know there are pretty much four core. There's just what I call the core four for expansion. There is money, so you got to have the right minority and majority group investing in the team. There is city excitement, city support. There are facilities. There's a matter of facilities, and then of course that sticky little detail of franchise fee. Right? Those are kind of the core four. You got to be ready with the facilities. You got to be ready with the money. You got to be ready with the city. You got to get sponsors and sales and those kinds of things. But apparently, the sticking point and the reason these negotiations have been stalled and pretty much kiboshed for now has to do with one of the core four, and that is facilities. In her letter, Engelbert cited plans for renovations to Moda Center. That's where they were going to be playing. That's the home of the Trailblazers. And she said the renovations anticipated to take place during consecutive summers. Y'all do the counting right there. That's 2 years. It's that had led to the decision to hold off on expanding to Portland. So the WNBA typically says after they sign off with you as a team, an expansion team, then it's usually 18 to 24 months. Y'all have seen that. That's been printed. That's well known between the time of an award announcement and the time that you are literally a team and you're ready to play. So until the timing and the scope of arena improvements are settled, Portland ain't getting no team. That's essentially what Cathy is saying. While the Blazers have not revealed specific plans for Moda Center renovations, a source close to those discussions said that the president's statement came as a surprise to the franchise's leader. Now, here's what I will say. I will say that the W pretty much knows what it wants to do. And so if it is out and about, making it look like you are going to be an expansion team, you've pretty much done most of the things. You've checked off the boxes. So what's left to do, this is for anybody out there who's interested in bringing the WNBA team to your hood, is you have to ask the right questions. Always the quality of the questions that you ask are going to determine the quality of the answers that you get. Don't be afraid. This is in business. This is with the W. Doesn't matter. Don't be afraid to ask the hard questions, because I believe the W will tell you if you go, okay, we're planning, this is going to take 3 years, and they say, okay, well, you're not going to be in the 2025 group. Or if they say, we're planning to play where the G League plays, the W is going to say, well, no, we're not interested in that. You got to build a new building, or you got to get a building that's going to be ready and in this this specific shape before we will put a WNBA team on that floor. The W, in my experience, is very blunt. So the fact that they say this is a surprise surprises me. It surprises me. So the source said Blazers owner Jody Allen had agreed to push back plans for a major overhaul to the arena, originally slated for 2026 until 2027, to ensure that the WNBA team would play multiple seasons at Moda before being displaced for what was expected to be one season. Okay, let y'all know this. I'm an insider. The W hates displacement. The WNBA does not like for teams to be displaced. There's upheaval with fans, there's upheaval with sponsors, there's upheaval with the players. They like for the facility to be in place. I have actually had conversations with the WNBA about facilities, and they get very tweaked when the plan for facilities is not permanent, concrete and in place. They do not like displacement. So that word right there is a trigger. It's a red flag. If you think your WNBA team is not going to be able to play in their building or be in their practice facility for some unlimited, some unknown time, you can pack it up. The W's not going to go for that. So it's pretty straightforward in this article why the plans have been stalled, but again, it's not denied, it's just deferred. What are your thoughts on the W making the decision to kibosh Portland? Put them in the comments. Interested in knowing what you think about that. And more importantly, where do you think the W should go next for that second team in 2025? All right, y'all. So I found this by Paul Lucas from 2021, April 15th, 2021, called The Expansion Project, the WNBA Expansion Project, where he kind of speculated where expansion might be going. And he listed 12 possibilities. I noticed my city of Austin, Texas is not on this list in 2021, and we know it is today. But anyway, he said the Charlotte Rush. It's kind of cool, some of the logos that he put together and names he put together. I don't know who that is next to the Charlotte Rush. Denver Gold, Nashville Notes, that's cute. Orlando Flamingos, Philadelphia Bells, the Portland Roses, that's an obvious one. The San Diego Waves, the San Francisco Seals, St. Louis Spirit, and Toronto Huskers. This was from 2021. What do y'all think about? First of all, what do y'all think about those locations? Who would you throw in there? And then what do y'all think about some of those names? Yeah, so Austin's not in there, even though Austin is one of the cities. This is obviously 2 years ago, so a lot has changed. But some of these cities are still in contention for a WNBA franchise. We saw today with the Portland announcement that you got to make sure you checking off, crossing those I's, dotting those T's, all that good stuff to make it all the way to the finish line with the W. So who do you think should be added to this list? Or who do you think should be taken off this list? Put them in the comments. Where's your city? Where are you from? Do you think your city could do a WNBA franchise? Let's hear it. Let's vote on it.